Life is a story, and for over 100 years of caring, the Sands Funeral Home in Victoria has been working alongside families to celebrate life and ensure each story is told well.
The funeral home is here primarily to look after deceased individuals and their grieving families. Our number one priority is to make sure that every grieving family is looked after with care and respect, to make sure that the last wishes of the deceased individual are carried through.
It all began in 1910. Mason Sands, an enterprising young American from South Dakota, arrived in Victoria as a trained mortician. Sands did work briefly for another firm before going into business for himself. Established in 1912, the Sands Mortuary, as it was then called, was located at 1515 Quadra Street. Because of the high demand for Mr. Sands' expertise, the company saw a rapid expansion, meaning that the operation would have to relocate twice, just blocks away. In 1915, it moved here to 1612 Quadra Street, and soon after, in 1933, this Spanish-style chapel and reception centre, complete with living quarters, was constructed at 1803 Quadra Street. And this is what it looks like today, with over 28,000 square feet of floor space on 2 levels, a facility that was designed to accommodate larger funeral services. Today, the Sands Funeral Chapel can comfortably hold up to 225 guests.
Many different types of services, from traditional to non-traditional type services.
In 1950, Mason Sands sold his share in the business to his son Laverne, and the company expanded to other communities on Vancouver Island. Nearly a decade after Mason Sands passed away, the Sands family decided to sell their business to a Toronto-based company called Arbor Memorial Services. That was in 1984.
And what Arbor is a company that owns funeral homes and cemeteries across Canada, over 90 funeral homes and 50 cemeteries.
Today, the Sands name is attached to 3 other original locations in Colwood, Duncan and Nanaimo. Arbor Memorial also owns 2 memorial gardens on Vancouver Island.
A cemetery called Hatley Memorial Gardens in Colwood and Cedar Memorial Gardens in Cedar.
Arbor Memorial employs about 50 people on Vancouver Island. Positions include administration staff, embalmers, limo drivers, and Stuart Green is the aftercare director in Victoria.
It's a very personal thing. I've been through loss myself, which is why I'm very passionate and very good at what I do. And families can feel that coming from me. So most families feel very comfortable sitting in my office and discussing these things with me. They know that I'm there to help them. People pay car insurance and home insurance every single year. They keep paying out in case something's going to happen. Unfortunately, 1 in 1 make a claim on funeral. Everyone's going to need us, so why not prepare for that, make your own choices, and get everything in place.
Stuart suggests that more Canadians are starting to think about their own mortality, and that people are taking a more active role when it comes to planning their own funeral. He does, however, recommend that more families pre-plan their arrangements.
If a person pre-arranges today, they pay today's prices.
Are there any plots left? Because, you know, the land's at a premium around here.
There's enough land to go around, believe me. There's lots in our cemetery at Hatley Memorial Gardens. There's enough for another 150 years.
The average cost of a traditional burial in Canada is $7,000. And the least expensive option is cremation.
It can be as little as $1,800 for a cremation.
Here on Vancouver Island, we have the highest cremation rate in North America. 93% of people choose cremation over traditional burial.
This is what's called a cremation container.
And then, after cremation, you end up in an urn.
Correct.
Now, some families choose to ceremoniously scatter ashes. Sands even has a boat to be able to do this at sea. But if you're looking for a traditional burial, well, first you have to choose a casket.
This one is a copper casket. There's 32 ounces of copper in this. We have a beautiful champagne interior. Also, this one is completely water sealable. It locks into place, so no water will penetrate this. We also have a drawer for little keepsakes. A lot of people wonder what that drawer is for. Love letters, mementos, pictures will go in there and go with your loved one. A casket has to be placed into a concrete vault.
Really?
A lot of people are surprised by that, but I'm sure coming from England, you see the old cemeteries and the ground is all sunk. That prevents that happening here in Canada.
And these are miniature scale models of what the vaults look like underground. Now, I found this one down here, solid pine. It's called the English style coffin. This'll do me just fine. Now, how well do the public road users integrate into a funeral procession today? Is the etiquette lost?
Unfortunately, with today's drivers, the etiquette is lost for most people.
What would you like to see from the public if they see a funeral procession?
Just some type of reverence, some extra respect paid to this procession.
In Victoria, I'm James Green.